slingshot hoops, ain't it?
Sandor has been the best example of how to not judge a book by its cover. Most people who walk in the gym, they see him and be like, oh, he's this tall, lanky kid, he's developing and he's doing these things. But he's also the hardest worker that we have. From the moment when we first got into the gym, he realizes that he has room for growth. He realizes that it's not about the fancy moves and just skill work. It's about the details and the confidence that go along with becoming a better player. And that's what he's doing on the floor. And as coaches, that makes our job easier and it makes it even more fun. With Sandor being a part of who we are and what we stand for, he's been the complete model for what we want in a player, or what anybody would want in a player. And what I see is a pro. He reminds me of my close friend Christian Solange. Built just like him. He grew up skinny, tall, 6'9" by the age of 14, but it took a lot for him to get where he was at, and they both have the same thing, the will, the heart, and the love for the game.
So when did you first see the kind of potential in Sandor when it came to basketball and sports?
I think we saw that quite quickly in him wanting to do things by himself, and maybe is very much a kind-hearted young man who finds his motivation and finds his drive to do things, not just basketball, but everything.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it his whole life. He was in the skills training at JCC as like a kindergartner. I remember this one story where I was watching the game and he had his classmate, one of his buddies was there, and this kid like pulled up his shorts like up to here, and I saw some of the other basketball kids like start making fun of this kid. And I saw Sandor, it was his turn to make the shot, and he saw that his friend was being sort of teased. And Sandor's such a mature kid and such a good decision maker, even at that age, that he pulled up his shorts just like the other kid and made the shot, and it landed. It was fantastic, and as a mother, it was just a proud moment, because I thought, even my little 7-year-old is able to make these decisions, right, and show his excellence,
Well, I take pride in giving Sandor the nickname Young Dirk. I know the parents might be mad at it, but I'm personally mad at it if you want to coin that. But so from the start all the way up until now, since Sandor worked into the door, we saw him look a little bit like Bambi. Couldn't control his legs, a little struggling dribbling the ball. But with the time spent with us and the hard work put into the gym, he's evolved into a better player already at 14. As the leader of the program and Legacy Hoops, I have high expectations for him, a part of our program. He is the leader of our young guys coming up. He's the standard and the example set in our program. So any guy or any man, woman, child, or anybody that's wearing Legacy Hoops, Sandor's our poster child to let them know that this is what we're about. Mentally strong, physically strong, and there's a ton of ceiling and room for growth. And that's what we expect, and that's expectations I have for Sandor. Shout out to young Dirk.
So we just got done talking to your wonderful parents. They clearly have done a great job raising you into a very great young man. So my first question is, how did your family foster your love for sports and basketball, and when did you first know you loved the sport?
I mean, like, I was always the tallest pretty much everywhere at my age. And I definitely wanted to try sports at a young age. And like, my mom played tennis, and she tried getting me into tennis, but I wasn't as interested. I'd rather have played with like a team. I'd much rather play with a team. Yeah. So she just put me into a small basketball league at the JCC in Austin. Nice. And after that league and stuff, it just came so naturally. Like, I just really wanted to keep playing and like wanting more and more practice. Yeah. And it just came very naturally to me.
Thinking about your freshman year going into your first year at Anderson, what are your goals for your freshman year, and kind of what would be considered a success for you at the this time next year?
Probably for my freshman year, I would definitely want to be on the A team for 9th grade. And we have a good team of 9th graders coming in for sure. And I would love to go all the way and win city and like keep going, play AAU. And also for sure, I had all A's through middle school, so I want to keep all A's through high school.
Great answer. I know your parents loved that answer at the end as well.
For sure.
Man, from the very, very, very beginning, man, I thought this kid was flat out crazy, especially when it comes to, not knowing he had asthma and stuff like that. He was just running around, face real red, couldn't breathe, couldn't really do anything. And, I had some stuff going on, and I came back maybe a week or two later, and I noticed that stamina was different, like demeanor was different. Just him as a person was different, asking more questions, doing what he needs to do to be a better person, be a better basketball player. He was just doing great. And honestly, to be real with you, I see him state, I see him D1 college, and then if it ain't Canadian League, it's NBA for sure. And who knows, he can probably skip the college league, man. Honestly, I don't know if you can do that, but if he can do that, I can see him doing it. If he he does what he needs to do to get to that point, I promise you he'll definitely do that. But as of right now, man, all I ask him to do is just keep going, keep pushing, and proud of him for sure, because hey, Anderson, y'all got one coming. Better watch out.
What do you think are the most challenging obstacles that are lying in Sandor's path?
Well, as far as challenges go, Sandor really has an amazing ability to create what he wants in his life. He's a really smart kid. For instance, last season when he was playing his 8th grade, the first 2 games of his 8th grade basketball season, I could see that he was overthinking things. And he wants to listen to the coaches, and so that's what he was thinking about. By the 3rd game, though, it all sunk in suddenly. We saw it on the court. And he played the best game he played that season. It was a double-double. And it was just amazing to watch how, like, the smartness sunk in, but then his gut took over and his instinct took over. And it was just a really proud moment for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he ended that game being Sandor the Viking for his team.
Right. Viking Sandor.
Viking Sandor, yes. And it was the best game of that season. I think that his biggest challenge is getting the mental tenacity to deal with all the things that are thrown in life. He is an outlier. He is someone who will attract a lot of attention, and that will be positive and negative. And I think one of the challenges is to be able to deal with that negative part of the attention coming at you. But I'm sure he can deal with that. He will find his way in that too.
With all that you mentioned, not just basketball, the other extracurricular activities, do you think Sandor puts weight on himself or expectations? And does that help him, or how have you seen him work through some of that?
He does put a lot of weight on himself, and it's actually his primary motivator. Everything is sunk into Sandor, and he has his own internal agency right now. As a 14-year-old, he's a real mature kid. And so the weight he puts on himself is appropriate. He has a positive energy, and he's also got a real like chill vibe.
Yeah.
So he can take the fierceness on the court off the court to be, just who he is.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. Nothing really to add to that.
Part of our Legacy Hoops, I think, our motto also is helping kids of all levels. So not just kids who are maybe going to be in the NBA or playing D1 ball, but at all levels. So with all the different resources offered to you going into high school now with Sandor, what kind of made us at Legacy Hoops stand out, and what made y'all feel comfortable moving forward with us on his journey?
For one sentence from me, Legacy Hoops puts the athletes, puts the human center stage, an holistic approach to the athlete and the performance of the athlete.
Right. Legacy Hoops really takes a more modern approach to coaching, in my opinion. It doesn't have this traditional sort of coaching that would be breaking the players down and then building them up in the coach's image. It's more of a positive kind of encouragement in building somebody up. And it's a holistic approach, taking their body, mind, and everything into consideration. We've spent 2 years looking for an AAU and people we liked, and we waited, and we're glad we waited for Legacy Hoops.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's tough just raising a kid alone, not just a basketball player. So what would y'all say are kind of the main values you've installed in Sandor to help him, be a good athlete or a team player?
I think that the first and foremost thing is have fun and make sure that you are aware of the other players, aware of the team that you play with, and especially at a young age, you want to make sure that you include everybody. And so he did that naturally already, so that was a good thing, and we just encourage that.
Yeah, I mean, I always think of Sandor and the basketball career as sort of like, I always try to instill in him a sense of taking care of your mind and body, a real holistic approach to just leading your life. Like, you can't just worry about one thing, whether you're making a good shot or whether you're, have the appropriate skills. You've got to prepare your body beforehand, like hydration, stretching, that kind of thing. And so we kind of push that as far as instilling values, but we also value the mental piece where you're prepared for the game. You're prepared for the wins, you're prepared for the losses.
Right.
And you're just there to do better next time with whatever you do.
All right, last couple questions here. Thanks so much for your time so far, Sandor. So we asked your parents this question, and we'll ask you as well. What do you think are some of the biggest mental challenges that a player in your position has faced, that will feel, that have helped you grow or will continue to grow?
I would say it has been my past coaches. They haven't been like the right coaches for me, I would say. But for sure at Legacy Hoops, best coaches I've had. and I just had to like build myself and keep getting like a thicker skin with my coaches.
Yeah.
From the past.
Yeah.
And just need to keep growing on that.
Yeah. Agreed. So I mean, you kind of answered my last question here already, but I'll let you expand on it a little bit. How has your time at Legacy Hoops and with the coaches and everything kind of impacted you, not just as a hooper, but as an individual?
I definitely really like all the coaches. I think what helps me most is like the positive reinforcement. It's like if you mess up, it's not like they're gonna like be mean to you because of it. They're gonna like they want to help you just get better. Yeah. And that's all they want.
Agreed. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sandor. Thanks everyone for watching, and we look forward to your very bright future.
Yes. Thank you.